Course.
I'm never. Hello, and welcome to the Gers TV. You got the volume up?
Yep.
Aye, good stuff. My name is Si Leslie,
My name is Vivian.
And I'm Gordon Bond.
and we've got Lewis in the corner here, and Lily burying holes, what you call it.
No one but Lewis in the corner.
Um, it's going to be a good show tonight, guys. Vivian's had this great idea that the two most hyperactive guys in the world should drink.
Energy drinks.
Because if you take these at the gym, it makes you more hyperactive. So if you're sitting on the couch doing F all, it will make you even more hyperactive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the good thing is you only have to do another 15 minutes in the treadmill to burn the calories off.
They are no. These ones are good. There's no sugar, no added sugar, and no calories, and it's full of vitamin B12 and essential
Vitamin
vitamins.
B12.
Tastes nice
Yep.
and a wee bit.
Actually, Simon and I were in the pub last week and the drill we were discussing the lack of vitamin B12 in our lives.
That was me. We need vitamin
No.
B. That's one thing, but it would taste nice to have a vodka in it. Guys, loads to talk about tonight. It is a big cup final weekend coming up. Rangers versus Celtic at Hampden Park. As well as that, we've got highlights of the match we'll talk about from last week. Gordon Smith's going to give us a quick call, and we'll have David Herd, the author, on a bit later on talking about his book on Rangers in the League Cup.
Absolutely jam-packed show. So as ever, please send in your comments. We'll read them out. Any questions, we'll ask them, and then we'll ask you later on who you want to start on Sunday for the big game.
Before we do that, we're going to put a wee graphic up here, guys, and do a kind of poll. As you know, there was Rangers at the weekend. The club had the Hall of Fame event where 3 new people were inducted. It was James Tavernier. Let me remember who it was now. James Tavernier, Stephen Davis, and Alan McGregor. And what I'm going to ask you is to take the name of the person that you think that's not in the Hall of Fame should be in the Hall of Fame, and I'll ask everybody in the panel. But I'll start off myself. A guy that's been great to the show, has won trebles with Rangers, and I think Gordon Smith. I think it's incredible that the man's not been put in the Hall of Fame, but now I think
Is Gordon Smith not in the Hall
He's
of
not in
Fame?
it.
I assumed he would be.
no, I believe right now I might be wrong here, but I believe that every player that played in that treble winning, the 2 treble winning seasons out of 3, every Rangers player that was in it is on the Hall of Fame bar Gordon. I could be wrong with that, but most of the big players anyway, and I would pick Gordon Smith should be in the Hall of Fame. Who's next?
It's a hard one, but I think for me it would probably be Jim Forrest, because as far as I'm aware, he's still the top league, holds the goal scorer titles so far. So
It's a great shout. Jim Forrest obviously lost. Somebody said him out me up.
He's right. But listen, the last time we need his energy juice and Kerry Miller getting mentioned. Believe me.
Jim Forrest famously played in the Berwick Rangers game, and he was one of the scapegoats for it. Jock Wallace and goals for Berwick Rangers that time. And he didn't play in the European final. I've spoken about this a few times. Rangers have only ever played in one European final with a recognised striker, and we won it. That was when we had Barcelona 72. So Forrest didn't play, we'd get rid of him, and to this day he's never really been recognised by the club in my opinion, and I think it's a good shout.
yeah. How about you?
Gordon?
It's two great names. I assumed that Gordon Smith would have been in the Hall of Fame, to be fair, and I would assumed that Forrest would have been in as well. David Herd and I have chatted about that game against Berwick and the repercussions of that game, and
Affected the club massively.
yeah, I couldn't agree more that there was scapegoats mentioned. There's been a few people commenting about Chris Boyd.
It's a good shout.
I think he's I don't think Chris was ever the most technically gifted player, but my God, he scored a hell of a lot of goals, and that always helps.
Important goals. So is that who you're picking?
I'll go for Chris Boyd, yeah.
Copying somebody?
He's tired.
Aye,
Hold on. That's better. So, who'd I pick? Well, I've got 17 names on top of my head.
and it's still Chris Boyd.
Chris Boyd, aye.
Right.
So, I mean, I've not really got a name off the top of my head. I mean, obviously, I'm only 17, so I've not really seen the most technically gifted Rangers players,
So you happy with the 3 that's in it?
I think there was a lot of argument. I was surprised at the amount of argument of James Tavernier being included, when I think that he's earned his place in the Hall of Fame more than Stephen Davis has, because he's led us to a European final. He's took us from the Championship to Invincible League winners, 100 points. I mean, what he's done for the club is remarkable, and his scoring statistics and his assist statistics from right back are unmatched. So I think anyone arguing why Tavernier's in the Hall of Fame needs to get their head a little.
Yeah, I can see the debate going on. I'm not a massive fan of the Hall of Fame. I think a lot of people that are missed out on it, and a lot of the people that missed out from the early times with Rangers, and David Herd spoke about a lot of times when we only see me to pick three players in the current team just now. I think was more for a fans' popularity thing, and I do understand why the three of them were picked, but I think they should have been looking into the club's history, and there's more recognised players that should go into it. However, James Tavernier, let's go for the facts here. He took Rangers from being in the lowest of the divisions, and he's came up being loyal to us, and he's going to be a 100 goal scorer. It might not be long now. He's going to be
5 goals away.
he's going to score 100 goals with Rangers.
For a right back,
That's amazing.
That is
Phenomenal.
amazing.
Well, I mean, he does get slagged a lot for his defensive ability, but he isn't a bad defender in any capability. It's just probably one of the weaker points in his game. He's just an unbelievable professional player, and you know, in this what I remember, my first memories of supporting Rangers was in the 17-18 season when we were in a riot. You know, Graham Marty had just been sacked after being our caretaker. It was an absolute disaster, and Tavernier stepped up, took the armband, and took control. And I mean, within a season we were beating Celtic, and then within 3 seasons we were champions.
He's a different kind of leader, I get that. And another thing that I'll never forget about James Tavernier is the Europa final when it went to penalties.
Yeah.
He stood up right away, he walked over, took the ball, and he took the first penalty.
Yeah.
That was nerve-wracking. Now, because he's my penalty taker, you can say you expect that of him, but see if he misses it. Whoever takes that first penalty, if you miss it, you're never forever remembered.
Yeah.
And he showed pretty proper leadership. It reminded me a wee bit of the way, you'll not remember this, but when David Cooper was the Rangers penalty kick taker, but as soon as a penalty kick took place, everybody knew David Cooper would take the penalty. Even when he played with Scotland, Cooper was a man, and he had that wee bit of, sometimes you need to have that wee bit of swagger on you, and you believe in yourself, and I thought that showed great leadership. So guys, let us know, that's your opinion, who should be in the Hall of Fame. Let us know who you think should be, and keep the names coming, there's loads already. Let's go to the comments.
Well, I'll spot you, Jimmy Bell. I know not a player, but the kitman Jimmy Bell. Could not be included in the Hall of Fame.
I think it devalues it. I think it's
Really?
I think the Hall of Fame needs to be players,
All right. Okay.
predominantly management. Now people can put it out there if people think. I just think the Hall of Fame should be people that played for the club or managed it.
Well, maybe that's the more interesting question then. What's the criteria for the Hall of Fame? Because we could sit and bandy about dozens and hundreds of names probably over the last 150 years, but it's the more interesting question or the most poignant question. What's the criteria?
I agree with that. The reason I agree with that is something that you spoke about on the podcast, and we'll talk about the podcast later on, and David Herd did mention it. Some of the great Rangers players that are not included in it went to war. So they were having a great career with Rangers, and then they went to fight in the war.
Wow.
Walter Daniel Tull obviously didn't really play for Rangers, but he went and fought at the Somme and died at the Battle of the Somme. So it's hard to merit somebody out on games when there's no wars taking place. When in older days when Rangers were playing, these guys played during the war. So I think there's definitely exceptions that should be considered,
Yeah.
and also people that are war heroes and maybe no great players, the class him in the Hall of Fame, because what's more important. There is
I think that should be automatic entry.
Yeah.
So I get that. So let us
well.
know who you think should be in it anyway, guys. Let's go to the comments.
Let's do some. Yeah, will we go
Right
back
from the
up?
top. And also keep us up to date with the football. Who's playing tonight? Who knows?
Liverpool, Real Madrid, and
Napoli.
some really tiny German team against Napoli.
Napoli are
Yeah.
playing Eintracht Frankfurt. There's actually 3 teams that are playing tonight that are in our very recent history. The only out of the 4, the only one we've beaten is Real Madrid.
I can't
That was a
remember.
friendly
I was
Ibrox.
there, right?
To be honest, I can't remember playing Napoli, Liverpool, or Frankfurt
Oh,
ever.
we-
Ever.
I still think that Napoli's going to go and win it, to be fair. I think they're a
Yeah.
really, really good team. And the thing about European football, more so when it's a friendly, I've got to say, but sometimes you can take a wee bit, and I only mean a wee bit because it was horrific watching the football, but the quality of football on display in their Champions League group against us, we were humiliated in it, I said take that, but you do have to take your hat off and say sometimes when you watch quality that you're lucky to be a football fan to see it. I think Napoli are one of the teams in years to come, like the Juventus team that came to Ibrox. They beat us 4-1 at Ibrox, I think 5-1. I was at 2 games, but I was drunk at 2 of them. Turin, I think they beat us 5-1 in Turin. Richard Goff scored, if I'm
I'm
right.
sure I was there.
But
So
when I'm
we
talking
lost.
about these teams, that you remember them forever.
Mhm.
So as much as it was
Yeah.
horrible to watch, it was hard to watch. I think the quality of Napoli was a pleasure to watch as a team.
They're absolutely flying in Serie A as well. They're now
Yeah.
top of the league and absolutely
30
flying.
points
So
clear, I think it is.
They're going to win that. They're going to win the
Wow.
Serie
yeah,
A.
so
I
I think they're a very good shout. Aye, absolutely.
I would love to see Dortmund do well as well.
And they're
Yeah,
doing it.
City.
Liverpool gave us, as you just said, I don't know how to ever remember that ever again.
Yeah.
That was a pure,
Okay,
a
so
proper doing. So anyway, back to the good stuff.
Catch up with some comments then.
We're watching from Pattaya, which is Thailand.
Yep, I think that's Neil Reid.
Hi Mark.
No, Neil
Hi
McNaughton.
Mark Aitken, good to see you watching us live.
Yep.
Keep us up to date with the scores.
William's looking for some tickets for Sunday.
How many,
Two
man?
people in your boat,
There's so
William.
many people looking for tickets.
See if you can get 4 as well. You know, like we all need tickets as well. So.
Unfortunately, just on that, I quite rant on it. I do believe that the club, the board, have let the fans down again. After what happened in the European final,
Yeah.
when the majority of the opposition fans, Frankfurt fans, were all Frankfurt fans, the majority of Rangers fans, and not the majority, but a large percentage of them were corporate fans who only go to big games because they're part of businesses. And you thought that should never ever happen again. It's happening more and more in football. I dare say not just with Rangers, but this final on Sunday, the amount of people I've met that go to football all the time, guys that go everywhere, guys in this my jersey and that, people can't get tickets for corporate, and I think that's disgusting for the Rangers board. See, watching these competitions and they're saying, if you like and share our page for like a supermarket or whatever, and you can win tickets for a game, and the
Constant.
Rangers end,
Constant.
that leaves a bad taste in the mouth.
Yeah.
Football should be for football fans, and
Exactly.
I don't like to see so many spare tickets being asked for and so many people can't go.
Yeah. So hi Mark. I think Mark's saying 2
It's saying we're
PM
live
to
on
you.
air 2 p.m. I don't know what.
I think the TV coverage might start at 2 o'clock on Sunday.
I thought it meant us on it. There's no way in the world I'm going live at 2 when the football's on.
I'm not awake at 2 p.m. So.
Are you not? No. That was a nice message from Donna saying evening all.
I don't know.
Hi, Donna.
We've got a Rangers win 2-1 from David. I'm assuming that's for this weekend.
Aye.
I hope so. Yep. Good evening all from Liverpool. Joel Jackson. How you doing,
Yep.
Joel?
Kenny Miller, another message for David. Where we've got Toronto watching from Neil. Hi Neil.
I know.
A few for Chris Boyd, to be fair. He's been
Yeah.
popular for it.
I mean,
This is what I don't like about the Hall of Fame. It's all recent kind of players. You very rarely get people that in the history books that maybe that merit it, because popularity, most people remember the newer generations.
Absolutely.
Get some
So,
score
like Russell
updates.
Martin.
yeah. So,
Liverpool's winning 1-0 against Madrid. Is that 3 minutes into the game?
Yeah.
yeah, it was at the time, aye.
Darwin Núñez with a great finish. I just watched that on my phone now.
How can you use
Aye,
multitask? I can't do that.
I don't know.
Maybe Donna saying she should be in the Hall of
She
Fame.
should be in the Hall of Fame.
Donna, I agree.
Liverpool fans going mad. What about?
Probably the goal.
Probably the only scored 7 against Rangers.
So I think this is.
They're still peed off about that.
I think this is David Herd mentioning who he thinks should be in the Hall of Fame. Is what
It
I
is.
know a bit.
Go down a wee bit, yeah.
I'll let
David Mitchell.
I'll read this out because I'm not getting
Right,
specs on.
okay, David Mitchell, Rangers 1889 to 1900, the first captain to win the league, first captain to win the Scottish Cup, first to beat Celtic, and a member of the team who won the league without dropping a point. Hall of Fame is meant to cover 150 years.
Absolutely great point.
So we're going to get David on later on anyway,
David,
and he can
yeah.
maybe elaborate on that
Yeah.
because what is the criteria? David might know the criteria
Yeah.
because
Good.
I genuinely don't really know how they work it.
On that note, David, hopefully you're watching. Got some exciting news on that. We have sorted out the issue with the Spotify software supplier. I don't go into details about how it all works, etc. But that's all been sorted. So I'm very, very pleased to announce that later on tonight we should have the next instalment of our series live on Spotify, and over the next few days we'll post and release every episode in the run up to the League Cup final.
And it's all free.
It's all free, so if you check out our website page, our YouTube channel, and of course our Spotify channel, which we'll post links on for later, the episodes that David has very kindly recorded with the Gers TV tell us all about the fantastic history of Rangers. They will be live every day in the run up to the League Cup final, which I
Nice.
think is a very, very good time to
Yeah.
release all the stuff. So
We're going to have David on in about half an hour anyway. We'll get a bit
Yep.
of chat about that. As well as that, I was going to mention the YouTube. If anybody's trying to watch us on YouTube, and you can watch us on the our own page www.thegers.tv. But I got us banned for YouTube for playing that video last week, so the ban runs out tomorrow.
It was,
7-day ban.
That was it actually.
Send me a big email complaining to me and all that and telling me I'm a bad guy. So they were probably right.
he's not telling me what the video was. It was it was one of his favourites. Emmanuel in Bangkok.
Si,
We've got
I've just checked on YouTube and you're live.
Are we
So-
live? And they sent me an
Yeah.
email saying we're banned. I've just wondered why there's no YouTube comments coming up then. So that's strange.
We-
Anyway, we're live on YouTube, that's great. So I don't know what
Okay.
happened there. They did say they were banned for a week, I couldn't upload it. We're going to quickly phone Gordon Smith here, guys. I'm going to get Lewis to get the call up. Gordon Smith, ex-Rangers Football Club. He played for the club, winning trebles. He also was the director of football with Rangers. He was head of the SFA. You name it. Journalist. Did you get it?
Which one is it?
His name's... Hold on a minute. No, you just search him.
Yeah.
Aye, that must be it. No, just...
David Aitken RSC saying that Alfredo deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I'll leave that to other people to decide. I'm not really,
I'm just going to say that I
really.
strongly disagree.
Who was that?
David Aitken saying that.
Account doesn't have enough credit.
Oh, right, you need to have my phone us. Right, I forgot to update the account. I've not used it for a while.
It did not happen.
It's alright, that's alright.
Someone's been phoned 118.
what was it you used to do? Like
Right,
a
you
phone
should talk
box?
about yourself.
You could make the other
313.
person pay for the call.
So Alfredo Morelos.
Yeah, what's that called?
Well, I used to do it all the time when I was out with my friends.
It's
319.
not redirect, is it? It's something I know. I
It's
know
like
is
you
it?
pressed a number on the phone box, they used to phone.
Aye.
And
So
ask
that
the other person, you need to pay for this call, do you take it?
It's reverse charges.
Reverse charges.
That is it.
Morelos in the Hall of Fame, yes or no?
No.
No,
No yet, but you know what?
yet.
If he signs his contract, he's got a great chance of going back in because he's been here for a long time and he's been an essential part of Rangers Football Club. He's been a great player, he's frustrated us all and everything else, but I don't think the book's closed and I think there's another
Yeah.
chapter with Alfredo
I
Morelos.
think if he signs the contract, but I feel like I don't want to use this argument because I don't like this argument for Tav, but I think in Morelos it's a bit more applicable. But he hasn't won a lot of trophies, and teams that should have won a lot more trophies than he has done. I mean, he's only won the league in the Scottish Cup, and you know, I'm not gonna blame him, but he did have to take a bit of blame in the 2019 League Cup final defeat where he missed a penalty and missed a lot of great chances.
I remember
And he
that
was
game.
also suspended for a couple of semi-finals when we got beaten as well.
I mean, there's good times and bad times he's
Absolutely.
had, but the strength for a football player is how they come back for the bad times. Let's catch up with the comments just just whilst I'm waiting. Gordon is just going to call us in a wee minute.
So we've got...
Hello to Rad Picking from the Woodford Loyal. I thought I said wonderful Essex, but Woodford Loyal.
It's the Woodford Chicken Supper. Loyal's the full name of it.
Okay.
And we've
2-0
got...
to Liverpool. There's Gordon calling in just now.
There we go.
Hello.
Sorry, hi, how you doing?
Hi, Gordon. You're
Hi,
live on
Gordon.
Gers TV. It's myself, Vivian, Gordon and Lewis.
How
How's
you
things,
doing?
pal?
I'm fine, thank you. Okay, everybody?
Yep, good thanks.
Very well, thank you.
Good
So-
stuff.
Gordon, obviously a massive game coming up at the weekend, and you played in these games and you played in cup finals and things like that. How do you think what's your opinion how the game's going to go at the weekend with the build up?
It's always difficult to predict. Old firm games can be so different because there's no necessarily even down to form. In this case, you've got two teams that are in a good run, but it's always difficult to predict because two things you have to do is one is you've got to obviously play well on the day yourself, but you've also got to stop your opponents. That's a major aspect is to make sure that if somebody once said when I was on the air with I won't mention who it was. He said, well, if both teams play their best on Saturday, who do you think will win? And I said that can't happen. Both teams can't play their best on the same day because one team will stop the other team playing, and that's the team that will go and end up getting the result. So it's going to be a difficult one to predict. First and foremost, Rangers obviously need to make sure that they stop Celtic playing. Celtic are in very good form. They've been very consistent over a long length of time, and there'll be some very, very good players, clever on the ball and all that, and it's very good that the Rangers can put that a sort of game together that makes it difficult for Celtic to have any openings like that. And then from that point of view, once they do that, then Rangers have got a pretty good attacking system just now. Just depends what kind of team they go with at the end of the day, whether they can get the right players in place that gives them the impetus when they're in possession.
Gordon, my opinion on it is I think the game's going to be won in the midfield. I think it's two great teams. They're two really good teams just now. Two good managers as well, and I think it's going to be a very tough game. But I think it's a midfield battle, and whoever wins the midfield battle will win the match.
Yeah, definitely. There's no doubt about it. That's a key aspect of these games, and especially, Celtic are very, very sharp in midfield. But Rangers of late, even the midfield I felt that played last weekend against Livingston looked very good because it was a very good contrast in terms of the style of play from other games I've had. Because they had, there'll be players in there now that when you look at having young Raskin in there now alongside Cantwell and Kamara, the most experienced of the three. But the three of them are very, very active. They're not the biggest, but they're very sharp on the ball. And that's one of the things that Celtic have had in their midfield of late. There'll be players that can get involved in passing moves, and they're very, very quick and move about. So that's a key aspect. The midfield is certainly going to be a very, very key area for both teams. And it depends whether Rangers need to think about bringing Tillman and having a fourth player in the midfield, so they maybe have that extra player in there.
Gordon, I was going to ask you, right, I know you're not obviously part of the management and things like that, and obviously even if you know this you might need to watch what you're saying, but have you any idea if Tillman's going to be fit or no? I know you did the commentary for Rangers TV, but do you think he's going to be fit, or have you heard he's injured or what?
I've not heard anything about him yet. They just said he was just trying to recover, and it depended. He wasn't fit for last week, but they were obviously thinking a game ahead. But it's always a difficult one to bring somebody back in who maybe isn't full fitness, especially for a key game against Celtic, and also the fact that it's a cup final. So you just wonder whether he might think play him for a spell, or else leave him on the bench if he's got a reasonable level of fitness in order that he can bring him on. Maybe he can turn the game, because that's also a key aspect. You players that you can bring on, depending how things are going, you can bring on somebody that can change the game in your favour.
Yeah, I'll ask you one more question. I'll pass you over to Gordon and Vivian. Regarding the two new players that I've signed, the two midfielders of very good quality, Ranskin and Cantwell. Do you think the two of them will start, or do you think it's too big a game to risk two new players like that playing in such a big occasion?
I would think you might just start them, because I thought the two of them were very, very good in the last game there. Cantwell, that was the best game I've seen Cantwell playing. I mean, a lot of people gave Raskin the man of the match, but I actually felt Raskin was more or less an excellent game, but he was more or less sitting. And in terms of Cantwell, I was very impressed with him. You know why? Because he was actually going and playing in all three departments. He was back defending when he had to be, then he was in the midfield involved in the play there, but he was also getting right up front and supporting. So he was involved in 3/3 of the field and making himself very, very prominent, whereas Raskin is basically you can tell that he's more like a sitting player. But that's a very, very key aspect too, to have something like that, because there's no doubt about it that one of the hardest players to replace from Rangers' point of view was definitely Stephen Davis, who was fantastic in that role of sitting in the midfield and actually controlling the game. So that's why Raskin, I felt, fitted in very well. He and Kamara are also have good roles to play there. So I just wonder whether they might go that three, because I felt they did look very good together as a threesome. They actually looked as if they combined very well. You thought they'd been playing together a few games rather than just one.
Yeah, because I was going to say they might even be forced to do that because of Lundstrom. I don't know if Lundstrom's going to be fit anyway.
Yeah, that's an aspect. I imagine if Lundstrom's fit, you might actually bring him in. So from that point of view,
experience,
then that's when you might even go with a four, because Lundstrom, maybe think another player in there just to make sure Celtic don't have any freedom in the midfield. Yeah. But as I say, I thought Raskin did very well, and Lundstrom didn't play against Livingston. He's been in good form, there's no doubt, but they certainly didn't miss him last weekend.
Yeah, Gordon.
Okay, hi Gordon, hope you're well. Just a couple of quick questions from myself. I'll pass over to Vivian. Just obviously Simon's asked you a few questions about midfield. Just for me, focusing on the attack. Obviously, Alfredo's come back into a little bit of form in the last few weeks, and he seems to have got his passion back. But we've also got Kolach coming back and scoring as well. If it was up to you, who would you play up front, Alfredo or Kolach, or even both?
Yeah, I would definitely start with Alfredo.
Okay.
Play him there, see how things are going, and then depending on any balls that you'll have to bring on, that's the key aspect, because he's got something to offer. Because if you're in a situation where you need to throw high balls in as well, that's where Cholak's advantage. I mean, Morelos is not a wee bit more height and ability in the air for the higher balls. Morelos reads crosses pretty well and gets on with headers, but he's not the ones that you know are 50-50 to win, and that's what Cholak can win those. So I would start with Morelos definitely.
Okay, brilliant. Just kind of last question for me. Simon's covered some of the questions I was going to ask, so that was good. Obviously, you've been involved in a lot of big games, cup finals, etc. Is there any cup final or big game predictions that you took part in, or anything that you felt at the time would help you perform, or just a case of train hard and then turn up?
I think it was just I was lucky in one respect when I played football. I was never nervous. I was always looking forward to it. You know, I never quite understood. I mean, I still to this day I know that people do get nervous, but I never quite understood it because I thought, well, wait a minute, if you want to play here at this level, this is a dream to be actually playing in a cup final. So you know, I wouldn't be nervous about it. You're obviously keyed up and you're motivated and you know you're excited about it. There's no doubt about that. But I was never nervous. I was always looking forward to it greatly. And in my first cup final, we played against Celtic, the first one that won the League Cup, and I was fortunate enough to be the winning team and got the winning goal as well, which made it easier to play finals after that, you know. So
of course,
that was a great aspect, as I say. And I think if you're up for it and you want to be involved in the cup final, then there's no reason why you know you should be affected by the occasion, really.
Brilliant. Yeah, it was just because Simon was saying before the show that he's going to dig out his lucky boxers for the game. That's all. So I thought you might have any traditions as well.
I've always said he's never get a haircut before the Rangers Celtic game. I always say that. Never have a shave.
Brilliant.
It was
Okay.
It was quite funny. There was a good story when I was at Brighton. The manager, Jimmy Mealia, was the manager, and we all went to get a suit made, and Jimmy got us all this fancy. It was a gold blazer with black trousers and gold shoes. It was as well, but you never believe it. And he came down for the game. And we were just down for a meal before the match, and he didn't have the gear on. We said, "Where's your gear?" He goes, "This is my lucky suit. I've been wearing every round so far." And I thought, yeah, we've all got lucky suits we may have been wearing every round as well, because that's something what happens. So one of the players, Jimmy Case, just went out, left the hotel, went out down to a shop and bought his own suit. He came back in with a different suit on for the rest of the team.
Brilliant.
Gordon, was that Jimmy Case that played for Liverpool?
Yes.
That was the man that Terry Hullock, he tells me every time I have a wee drink, Terry Hullock always tells me that he was the hardest football player he ever played against.
No question. Unbelievable. He was a good player, but he was a hard, by the way, on and off the field as well. He had to be,
Aye.
you know.
Terry was telling me that he stood on him one time when he was a young boy, and Jimmy Case stood on him and he had two hearing aids on. So Terry was screaming at him, get off me, and he said, Jimmy Case can't hear him because the hearing aids aren't working.
That's right, that's right. But you know the funny, we played, he signed for us for Liverpool, and the first game we played Liverpool after the next season, I remember saying to Alan Hansen after the game, I said, Graham Souness is a bit quieter than normal today. He says, you know why? And I went, no, why? Because you've got Jimmy Case in your team, he said. That's why Graham's quieter today.
No, great memories. Do you want to ask Gordon before we finish? Prediction?
You have answered asked all the technical questions. Do you know what I keep hearing, Gordon? That do you think Raskin is like a young Barry Ferguson? Like with his energy, a lot of people keep comparing him to Barry Ferguson and how he plays and just his kind of attitude and energy and what he's bringing to the team. Do you see that yourself?
Absolutely, and that's the type of player, as I say, and Stephen Davis was a bit like that too, probably like Barry Ferguson, but Barry maybe got forward a little bit more than Stephen, although Stephen Davis did also get and score, whereas Raskin, I've not really seen him doing much of that. He did create the goal when he scored, and that was, he did that well from being a really forward position, but the main thing about him is, which I like about any player in that position, Barry Ferguson and Stephen Davis are two classic examples. What they do is, wherever the play is, they're always available to get a pass. So if the players at the back are on the ball, they're there and they can play them. And then if somebody in midfield needs help, they're there. And the same thing for strikers. And that's a key aspect. And that's why I was very impressed with him. It's a good point to make. Compare him with like Barry Ferguson. I would compare him with Barry Ferguson, as I say, and Stephen Davis is the exact type of player that Rangers do need and require for that role.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Gordon, a quick one for a finish. Are you commentating at the weekend?
No, I'm not.
Good.
I'm a hospitality guest of the weekend, so I'm looking forward to that.
I often wonder with commentators, guys like yourself, see when you're actually just at the football or like watching it, do you commentate still even though you can't help it?
Under your breath.
I can't help. Honestly, I'm analysing every game I ever watch. Even when I'm watching a kids' game, I'm analysing it totally all the time because it's just a habit I've got. Even in terms of the system, how the changes that have been made. So even though I'm only watching the game at the weekend, I'll be analysing it. Don't you worry. If you want to phone me at half time, I'll be able to tell you what's happening.
No, fantastic, Gordon, once
Yeah.
again. Thank you very much for
Thank
calling.
you.
Yes,
Thanks for
thank you.
supporting the show.
Thank you, God.
Very kind of you to give you your time.
Yeah, all the best.
All the best.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There you go, Gordon Smith. So it's great to have an ex-Rangers player on, a guy I would class as a Rangers great, winning trebles for the club. Rangers supporter, played in big European ties. Davy Cooper's pal. That's how I was. The first time I got to meet Gordon Smith was when we were doing the Davy Cooper tributes, and I got told to contact him, and we became friends ever since then. But imagine going to work every day and you're sitting beside Davy Cooper in the motor, just having a laugh and a joke, and got to meet guys like Alan McCoy and things like that. What a lifestyle.
Absolutely.
But anyway, great to have Gordon Smith on, guys. So let us know what you thought of the call there. What do you think? I think it's
Brilliant.
I agree with what he was saying.
I
wasn't
do
it?
as well, especially see when you're talking about Cantwell at the weekend and how well he played.
Yep.
Definitely, but he never get man of the match. But
It's good to have somebody that's got kind of inside knowledge of the club as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
When he's obviously getting to do the commentary and things like that, and he's played the game. People always say if you've not played the game you don't know it. I don't know if I agree with that, but it's good to have like a professional giving his opinion, and he always speaks very
Yeah,
well.
I don't always agree with that. If you haven't played the game, you can't.
I know,
call
but
it
they always
because-
tell you that, don't
but-
they?
Aye, but I agree with what you're saying. It's good to have someone with insight and someone who knows about the football part, and they can give us a kind of maybe a player's perspective rather than a pundit's perspective. So
yeah,
it's always great to hear, and Gordon's been a great supporter of Gers TV as well. So
Yep.
if you're still watching, thanks very much.
No, excellent. I'll be watching a Liverpool game probably now.
On that note, it's now 2-1 to Liverpool.
is it?
Yeah.
Aye, that must
Wow.
be a good. It must be a good game. So a lot of people will be
Aye.
watching that. So
Great
a
game.
wee reminder, if anybody that is watching it, if you could like and share, so people could watch this later on tonight.
Yep.
A lot of people watch for Australia and Canada. Your favourite place, Gordon?
That's two different places. So.
Well, Canada.
Canada.
Complete upside
You literally couldn't get two further away parts of the world actually as well.
see once you leave Duke Street, everything's falling. Anyway,
My favourite part of the world, Toronto. Well, my favourite second one is Toronto. Been once.
Really?
Hopefully going again soon for NASA, etc. So, in fact, it's actually going to be time to start focusing on that soon. Actually.
aye, we'll maybe we'll need an update because the organisers will
Absolutely,
come
yeah.
back on again. So we'll do that. Let's catch up with the chat first of all, and then we'll get David Herd on. Oh, my ways of comments, right? Loads of people, loads of
All about
commentary.
Liverpool.
Aye.
Raskin makes himself available to take the ball and move forward rather than back inside. He's a wee tater. I was glad I nearly read that. Right. He's a
I
wee,
can see. I can see where your mind was going
he's
there.
a wee terrier in the midfield.
Aye.
I actually agree, but I think the point Raskin has got. He's only played two games now. Is that right? 2 games, and Vivian's already got him down as a new Barry Ferguson. So there's no pressure on the lad.
Apparently, Barry Ferguson's got a Raskin naming it back in his top and all that already.
I kind of agree. He doesn't look that type of player.
David Herd is saying that he would play a front three of Roof, Morelos and Kent with Tillman behind him. Now, if Beale was super confident in his own team's ability, he would do that. But I think that unfortunately over the last year or two we get this habit of trying to contain Celtic rather than go for it. But
He has made a good comment at the end there, Gordon. If
Yeah.
Roof is finally fit,
and Roof is finally fit.
but is he finally fit? 'Cause he's only played 10 minutes.
From what I've heard, he got a season-ending injury over the weekend.
Well, I suppose he's had his 17 minutes again, hasn't he?
Listen, he's probably technically I'd say he's probably our best striker on his game. However, he's not fully fit enough to be classed as the best striker because he doesn't play enough games.
I mean, if you look at his stats over, this is his third season in Scotland, and he's played, 50 games, and he's scored 30 goals. His goal output is incredible.
that kind of four up top there. I mean, Roof, Morelos, Kent, and Tillman. Morelos up front would be an absolutely phenomenal kind of front four if you like.
Any team would struggle to play against that. I
Yeah,
don't care who you are.
especially how Celtic are weakest at the back. I think we could get some joy out of Starfelt. I think that they're not a bad. They're a very good team. They've been playing really well. And
I'm thinking David's got the battle fever on reading that.
See,
I've got it.
and with their form, they deserve the top of the league, especially through at the start of the season as well, when we were lagging under Gio. So it's going to be very difficult. But I think they're weak. They're weak weakest when people are attacking against them. The only team,
Yeah.
I mean, St Mirren beat them in Paisley earlier on this season because they played 2 up front and went for it. Just didn't give a
We should have
toss.
beat them as well. 6
Yeah.
minutes to go. And
So,
we went back.
I agree with David. If they're all fully fit and top form, then what a top 4 that would be.
Yeah, but I think that it's equally scary when we take out Ruth for Sakala because there's a phone call.
Is that-
coming in
I was
now.
going to say, is that David here? Take it now. I'll just double check it with David.
Hello. Hello,
Somebody's left a phone.
Oh,
David,
that's me.
David.
Just
How you
get-
doing,
I
sir?
was just literally texting you, pal. How's things?
Not bad, not bad. I don't know, I can never tell if there's a time delay in this. I'm sitting listening to it and I'm thinking, should I phone you?
Aye, there's a 30-second time delay. Story of my life. What I was going to say, David, just I know a lot of people know who you are, but a lot of people won't know who you are as well. Do you want to describe exactly what you've been doing in the last couple of years, Rangers-wise?
Rangers-wise, yeah, sure. Well, after I retired to work, I decided to become a Rangers author. So I've already released 2 books last year.
Right, put the book up.
One sort of history book from quite a long time ago called 1872, and one story that's Rangers in the League Cup. And after a new book coming out in May, which is the story of my favourite season when I was younger, which is the story of season 1977-78, which ties in really well with the guy that just phoned in actually because he joined Rangers last season.
Yeah.
Wow.
So let's talk about that book a wee bit now, David, so we can promote it a wee bit for you.
Sure.
Yeah, so the League Cup, a lot.
The 77-78 one you're talking about, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, just in general, I was going to say, just in general, sorry, the book 77-78, it's just when, we've spoken about this before, a lot of people in the last couple of years, even managers, have kind of devalued the League Cup.
Aye, well, you don't want to trickable without it.
Yeah, that's
Very
how I see it.
true.
It's the simple and short. And the other thing I would say about that is, if you want to keep singing about your world's most successful club, you should win every trophy available. Try and win every trophy available to you.
And in the last 20-30 years, some of our best memories, cup final-wise, have been League Cup games, League Cup finals.
Absolutely, I think. Well, Ali's overhead kick, we're beating St Mirren in 9-9. Absolutely.
Yelovich against Celtic.
Yelovich against Celtic, yep.
McCoy's hat-trick, 3-2.
I can go right back to Derek Johnson scoring when he was 16-year-old. Absolutely, Ali's hat-trick against Celtic.
Yep, 1983
Then
League
sure
Cup
against
final.
Aberdeen. There's been loads of them.
Davy
Loads of
Cooper's
them.
free kick.
Sorry?
Davy Cooper's free kick against Aberdeen, is that what you mentioned?
David Cooper's free kick, absolutely. You can even go to something like Bert Compton's semi-final.
Richard
30
Gott.
yards if you want.
I remember that specifically. I was at my friend's house when I was much younger at the time, Vivian, you know, and we actually were shocked. We said to Cotman, "Don't shoot," and then you never get a better goal in your life.
Richard Goff scored against Celtic as well in the League Cup final. There's loads and loads.
He's first.
In
the
fact-
final as captain.
Just whilst we're doing this, David, if anybody's got any memories of the League Cup finals that they want to talk about, just post them on the page. So, for an example, David, why should people buy the book? Tell us a wee bit about it.
This is the one with 77-78.
Aye, your new one you're just promoting.
Aye, so the new book's about season 77-78, as I said, which was my favourite season when I was growing up as a Rangers fan. It was a season that kind of ended an era and started another one. So it was John Gregg's last year as a player, it was Joe Wallace's last season as a manager, it was the last season of the old Ibrox before they put the stands up. It was the season David Cooper signed, it was the first year that Aberdeen started challenging Rangers and Celtic for the title. But there was a lot of sort of beginnings and endings. They say Cooper arrived, Gordon Smith arrived, Bobby Russell arrived, and we already had this great spine with Sandy Jardine, John Gregg, Tom Forsyth, Colin Jackson, Alan McDonald, Tony McLean, Derek Johnson. So we were this really experienced, successful team, and we had these 3 young, really good footballers into it, and we played some absolutely brilliant football that season. Some of my favourite Rangers performances were probably that season. We beat Celtic 3-2 after being 2-0 down at half time. We beat a very good Aberdeen team 6-1 in the League Cup, and probably played as well as I've ever seen Rangers play in my life. All kinds of memories that year. John Greg's testimonial. There was just one of these sort of, for me it was a kind of historic season in Rangers history, as well as one that was brilliant to be part of.
Yeah, I can just picture him, obviously 77, 78. I'm just thinking of young David Herd about the perm and the flares.
Aye.
And,
Actually, I was a punk.
right, aye.
Yeah, it was a Clash, the Jam and the Sex Pistols for me back then.
Aye, I'm still listening to all that. I've never changed. Right, David, Vivian's asked me a question earlier on. How do you get the book?
So,
No, sorry, she said to me, how did I get a free copy of the book?
It's just went live on the publisher's website and on Amazon just in time.
Oh, amazing.
So this is just a wee bit of initial publicity for folk that might be interested in it. You can pre-order it. You can get it through Amazon right
Yes, you
now.
can find
But it
that
won't
on
arrive
the Amazon
until
link.
the 1st of May.
Can you do the audio book of it? Because I pay, like, I do the Amazon audio. I pay that every month. Is that an option?
It won't be to start with.
Right.
It comes out as hardback only to begin with.
Right.
Then,
Okay.
as in many other books, if it sells well enough, it will then go into paperback and potentially a Kindle and audiobook, depending on sales, is what I've been told. So it depends on many folk want it, as well as whether they'll go as far as making an audiobook. I think there'll be a paperback later in the year.
Yeah, no, I look forward to reading it. I'm definitely paperbacks. I think you can't beat having actually a book collection anyway, rather than just having them on your phone. It's not the same.
Especially when it comes to Rangers.
Exactly.
And I think maybe the other thing I was going to mention was Gordon, that was just on. He actually wrote the foreword for my League Cup book, which I'm
Gordon Smith.
eternally grateful for him. And he put me onto one of his old colleagues to write the foreword for this one. So Alan McDonald's wrote the foreword for this book.
Right, aye, got it.
He's got a few brilliant memories that he's put in there as not just for that season, but his Rangers career. And he was one of my boyhood heroes, Alex. So I was great talking to him about it.
Fantastic. Well, I've just put the link up now, David. I'm putting it up right now for anybody that wants to pre-order it. How much is the book?
Well, as I said, the publisher, because it's a hardback, it's $18.99, but Amazon at the moment have reduced it by 28%, so it's sitting right now on Amazon at £13.71, which probably is as cheap as you'll ever get it.
Brilliant.
Well, I'm going to get mine ordered right now.
I think what Amazon tend to do is if they get quite a few pre-sales of it, they knock the price down to try and encourage more sales.
Right.
So it looks as if it's had a few pre-orders already.
Brilliant.
Yep.
Good.
Well,
Well,
I'm going to pass you on to Gordon for a wee minute. I could please want to have a wee promotion on the other stuff he's been doing.
Yep. So hi David. Hope you're well. So yeah, it's obviously been a bit of a delay getting the other history episodes we've recorded onto Spotify. I'm glad to say that finally that's all been sorted out. So we had a lot of software problems, and I don't want to get into too much detail. There was a company that has to host the file, and then we have to put them onto Spotify, etc., etc. So that's all been sorted out. So we'll be putting on in the next, hopefully the first episode, well, the first new episode, if you like, should be up in the Spotify tonight. Okay.
What will that be?
And I'll do the League Cup, yeah.
Okay.
And
So I'm just trying from memory. We've recorded 4 or 5 now, haven't we?
yeah, so I tell you what, the first one, the first one we'll do.
I remember doing one of the Diamond Curtain.
Yeah.
We done one about the Rangers European finals of the 60s.
Yeah.
The two European Cup winners, cup runs that we got to the final but didn't win it.
Yeah.
Before we finally did win it.
Yep.
We done one of the Rangers War Heroes for the First World War.
Yeah.
Which I think you kind of touched on a wee bit in the Hall of Fame discussion earlier on.
Yeah. Yeah. And we also.
And John Gregg manager years.
Yeah, the most recent one was John Gregg manager years, which was absolutely fascinating for me because that just obviously ties into the year after your book's focused on, isn't it?
Yeah, it does. It was the start of the next year, which unfortunately wasn't a successful one.
Yeah, so just to let everyone know, Gers TV, myself and David have recorded a series of Rangers history podcasts,
On
which
Spotify.
are free of charge, available on our Spotify channel. So if you go onto Spotify and literally type in the Gers TV, you'll see our channel there, and all six episodes we've done previously are on there. And over the next few days, we'll complete the series, and hopefully that will spur us on to record more. Have we done an episode on your the season of your book?
Not yet, no. But,
Okay.
I think we've got a list we're going to have to walk through, I suppose, haven't we?
Yeah. So if you want to tie in with all the launch of your book and the release of your book, then I'll be delighted to do an episode devoted to that if you like.
Yeah, no, I was actually thinking of doing one at the Joe Wallace.
Okay.
Oh, that'd be
Rather
great.
than just make it that season and make it the Wallace years as manager.
Okay.
You know, to go through for the centenary, winning the Centenary Cup final through 2 trebles.
Okay, brilliant. So the kind of I'd hate to use this phrase, but the kind of first new one, if you like, or the one of the ones we've done there, that'll be up over the next 24 hours, and then we'll we'll put a new one up every day for the next 4 days up to the cup final,
Brilliant.
and then we can get together and we can record some more. Okay, apologise for the delay. It's just been out of our hands, but everything's kind of sorted now. So I will send you a wee message when they're up, so you can have a wee look at them and listen to them yourself. Okay.
Fantastic.
David,
Brilliant.
just a quick one for you, mate. I know you're not a big fan of this, but we were speaking about it earlier on. You maybe heard us talking about it. The Rangers Hall of Fame. What
Yes.
do you understand what the full criteria is of it?
Aye. So it was when it was created. It was Sandy Jardine, David Murray, and I think it was David Mason, the club historian. I think the three of them come up with the criteria for it. And if I remember rightly, it's service to the club, number of appearances, number of honours won with Rangers, international caps won with Rangers, and exceptional football ability are the 5 criteria.
What's your thoughts on it?
My thoughts on it is that, well, you know my thoughts on it. I think that
Some of them.
there's too many modern players in it that probably shouldn't be there, and there's not enough players over the entire course of our history that should be.
Yeah.
In a way that's understandable. It's the same idea as remember the greatest 11.
Yeah, it's just what most people just tend to remember last couple of years.
Exactly.
David,
I'm not going to talk about names that shouldn't be there, but I think if you look at some players who were put in it that played for us maybe in the 90s or the early 2000s, they were only with Rangers 2, 3, 4 years, and then you can go back to guys that made 400 appearances and scored 100 goals. They're not in it.
Yeah.
So, but it's a modern thing. I think it's to sell tickets at dinners, isn't it?
yeah, no, I agree with that because they want these players to turn up as well. And I understand why they do. I don't really agree with a lot of myself. David, with the Brighton saying, you did mention at one time you thought that it would be a good idea to do something like a Hall of Fame for players that had served in the war and things like that, or remarkable achievements.
Yeah, I think when Gordon and I talked about that on one of the podcasts.
Yeah.
I got the idea from, believe it or not, Northampton Town.
Right.
They've got a wall dedicated in a garden to Walter Tull. And I was thinking, in this big footprint at Ibrox that we've now got, why can't we have some kind of memorial garden or some kind of remembrance wall for all the players that served their country during the 2 Great Wars?
Guys like Molly talking about
Yeah,
that.
absolutely fantastic idea.
Gordon, sorry, David, before you finish, I'm just going to let people know exactly what's on the page for the Spotify so far. So it's Spotify, you type in the Gers TV, and some of the subjects that are on it are Walter Tull. I don't know, man, I've just lost it after that. I can't work this. I did work, I pressed a button on it. I'm just trying to see a list of the episodes on it for people to want to see it. So you've got Walter Tull, you've got the wonderful wingers, the dreaded Scottish Cup, 25 years of pain, that was a famous Scottish Cup hoodoo.
Infamous.
Famous goalkeepers, part 2, Kings of the League Cup, and the Rangers history, the strikers. So some great topics for people.
Oh, and it's been absolutely, such a pleasure recording them with David because he knows absolutely everything, and for someone that was born in the 80s that doesn't know the kind of older traditions and a lot of the older kind of stuff with the club, it's been fascinating to learn. So thank you, and as I say, we'll let you know in the next couple of days when everything's up. Okay.
Just as well, I'm 148-year-old, you know.
Aye.
Well, if you ask me, you only look 127.
So that's it. That's us on the tablet here showing people it's on Spotify.
Yeah.
It's ideal if you're going to work. It's 30-minute shows really, isn't it, Gordon?
Yeah, but 32, 33 minutes. But if you're getting the bus, the train, whatever, then you can listen to it in full. Like you can listen half in the way into work, half the way back.
Aye. So we'll get some other plans with David Heard as well, with other kind of stuff as well. We want to do. David, thank you very much for all your support, mate.
Yeah.
We'll put
No
the link
problem
up.
at all.
Thank
No
you.
problem at all.
Yeah.
And I hope your team win on Sunday.
Aye, if anybody wants, thanks mate. If anybody
my
wants
line.
to, if you want to ask David any questions about the booking it, lad, just put them up. David's on he's on the page anyway, and he'll reply. He's took the poke, yeah.
What did you say?
Yeah,
There?
okay.
I took the
Enjoy
drive.
the rest of the show. I'll be listening anyway.
Thanks, pal. Cheers.
Cheers, David.
Thank you.
Right.
So that's David Heard. He's an author. He's just basically a Rangers fan that became an author. And
Yep.
I've ordered his book
excellent.
and followed him. Yep.
What we done was we got him to speak at one of the dinners, and
Yeah.
he was so good he spoke at another dinner, and he's really just been part of the Gers TV since then. He's been
I look forward
he's
to it.
really really humble, and he's one of the guys who knows a lot about Rangers, but he doesn't show off about it.
I'm going to. I mean, I was born in '86, and you know the '70s is my favourite era. Like, I'm obsessed with music and everything. I just wish this, because everything, the rules were just there to be broken in the '70s.
I think
It was
it
just
so
a
much
good
better.
time to be alive.
Yeah.
So I'm
Agreed.
looking forward to actually reading his book, and I'm going to make sure that I do, because it would be interesting to learn about the history when I didn't grow up with it. I was the '90s.
Have a listen to the Spotify.
God, it's
I will.
also good to have
Honest.
somebody who likes it. Similar to Mark Dingwall, when he speaks it's quite authoritative. You
Yeah,
listen to
he's
him.
got that air of authority about him, and honestly, some of the stuff that I've learned and some of the stuff we have discussed on the podcast have been absolutely fascinating, and
Yeah.
you know, it's been an experience and will continue to be one as well. So please check out that. On that note, we've also got a esports and e-gaming community run through our Discord channel. It's just an online place where we organise FIFA Pro clubs for PlayStation, Xbox, PS5, PS4, Xbox, and also we can talk about Rangers. Lewis is going to just post. I said it 4 times. Post. Is that energy drink? Any more?
I blame the energy drink.
He's going to post and post the link again. So please join our new Discord, our new Rangers community for e-gaming, and you can join us, smash all the teams at FIFA Pro clubs as well as all our stuff as well.
Aye. Just before I forget, because I'm seeing the messages, there's loads coming in. The new guys, if you could keep liking and sharing. Sandra's on the new way. She commented a minute ago, but we're just going to catch up with the messages. Sandra, can you do me a favour and just post exactly the details of the treats for troops? I'm terrible with these things, but saying them without starting. The treats for troops fundraiser that you're part of, that you're involved in. It's, I know it's basically the Christmas time and then Easter now, where you basically send in treats and they go towards the armed forces, and it's like a wee gift.
Yeah.
But rather than me saying it, if you could just give us some more information, or even about a phone in, but
Yeah,
if
it's
you
an
can text it on
absolutely
the page,
fantastic.
we'll be happy to support it. It's just so we can catch it just now, and we're going to catch up with the comments soon, and it might be on that.
So we were just at David House comment before he phoned in, and I was about to make a point of.
Yeah.
I feel like this front three of Roof, Morelos and Kent, with Tillman in behind them, is equally as deadly against Celtic if we take out Roof or Sakala. Obviously Roof being a big question mark over his fitness, but the game in January, I don't know if you would agree, but I think Sakala was our best player. He absolutely terrorised the Celtic defence.
Also, when they get moved, when they made the subs in the last 5 minutes and they moved Sakala, it nullified his threat.
Yeah, and I think Alistair Johnson and Carl Starfelt are still having nightmares over him. So I think, I mean, as even going back to the game at Parkhead last season, the 1-1 draw when
He was very
scored,
unlucky.
he should have scored like probably 3. He was absolutely incredible that game. Changed the game off the bench, and I think
Through the dug after.
it really. I feel like his game suits Celtic a lot more because he's got more space and run behind. Cause
There's a wee bit of you don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think even he doesn't know what he's going to do next.
It reminds me of Ted McMinn. You really, every time he took a touch of the ball, you didn't know if it was going to go up in the stand or the top corner.
Yeah.
And he's got that. No, I agree with that 100%. Let's catch up with the comments. And the scores as well, if we can get the scores in.
I think it's now 2 each.
2 each, I think it is.
Hopefully Tillman is fit and gets
Is
a game at
the
some
wee
point.
dog snoring? Yes, she snores when she's asleep. It reminds me, before anybody says it, it reminds me of me. Right, I know everybody's got the nose going to go, you do that, I know, but I can't help it. But that was a dog.
Simon's medical expertise was gone to the floor there.
Well, that's getting sorted soon. We've got a plan.
Snoring happens when you're asleep.
Yeah.
Anyway,
good
where are
to
we?
know.
That's biology.
We'll cut down a wee bit because some of them are for Gordon Smith. I think
Yeah,
hopefully Tillman's fit, obviously we hope that yet.
TV.
The Montford Bar Rangers fans, and I don't think so because it's at the Celtic end of the ground, Mark, so I wouldn't recommend that, although the Kings Park Loyal do drink in it. Guys, still looking for donations for treats for troops. So that's what Sandra's talking about. What I'll do is I'll get the full information and post it on the website and on the social media this week. Okay?
Yeah,
Sounds
absolutely
good.
fantastic cause, so please get involved in that. And please donate anything you can because it's an absolutely amazing
Do we
cause.
think Hadji will play at the weekend?
No.
No, I think he'll be a sub, but I think it's far too early. I think he's very, he's really struggling to be up to match fitness.
Even still, I don't think an Old Firm game is Hadji's type of game at all. Like,
Just
even
knew
when he's at 100%, I don't think when he played against Celtic.
He prefers the European games. I think he's more at home in the European
I think a cup final kind of big occasion is more suited to Hadji. I see what you're saying, but I think I don't think I can't see him starting. I don't think he's fit enough. I don't think he's got a match sharpness, to be perfectly honest.
Let's keep the comments going.
4-1 to Rangers. Is that for Sunday?
I hope so. It's a prediction.
Oh, I'm not putting it out. I missed the game.
2-2. Obviously Liverpool are
2 each now.
Battling right now.
There's just a lot of comments coming in about the cup fight,
Aberdeen
the
games
cup finals. I just remember I said about the memories of the cup finals.
Aye.
That's
Cup
right.
game at Parkhead against Hibs 2-1, Alan McCoy's overhead kick. I remember it as my brother Scott had not a broken neck, he had he kind of
Neck brace type
a
thing.
neck thing on. He never told anybody. He turned up the 12 club, and the whole 12 club just couldn't stop laughing. I'll never forget it. We were in the Celtic end that day at the stadium. I was at Parkhead, and if I remember, it was just 90% Rangers. Carnage, and McCoy scores an overhead kick. Never forget it. McCoy had just come back for a bad injury at the time, and that was his first game
leg
back.
break or something.
A
His
leg
first
break,
day,
aye. People said he would never play again. I think it was Portugal who got his injury, but I might be wrong
Aye.
with that. He came back and scored a goal, one of the best games I was at for years.
Amazing.
And it was great because East End of Glasgow was just red, white and blue as always. That's the book. Lily,
Yes.
you are Abraham Lincoln. Oh.
The book.
So we're going to find out more with Sandra how we donate. I'm going to try and get a couple of bars that might be able to put a donation area in for it next week. Right, Rab Picking, who wants to go?
I
with
want to go, you can deal with that.
So
I can deal with
Rab Picking is not ranting, but I think the point you're trying to make here, Rab, is I don't understand the rent-free comment and the support the manager sees. That's why Sutton's. I think what you're saying, Rab, is that since Beale took over, Rangers are much more confident and in much better form. They're winning almost every game, and they're a team to reckon with, especially when it comes to matching and beating Celtic. So that's why ex-players and pundits like Sutton and Hartson are having little slide digs are coming out and saying comments which we don't really pay any relevance to. And then they're making the point that when Rangers win on Sunday, it'll be the Ange one that leaves, and Michael B will have the success in the next 2 or 3 years.
I hope so. It's going to be a really, really good game. I'm kind of looking forward to it. I'm a bit nervous with it.
I'm a bit nervous as well.
I've probably paraphrased in a probably more nicer way what Rab's actually said there,
Aye.
but I think that's kind of just
Just to explain, guys, right, it's not that we're PC or anything like that. As I said earlier on, we get threats for bans and things like that by the social media channels. We can't on the show really swear. I know I do it sometimes, but I can't help it. But we've got to watch sometimes what we say, how we say it, even if it's a joking term, because what happens is people put a complaint in and then it can get us banned. So Gordon's trying to improvise, as he said.
Minimise.
If you want to get Rab's full rant there, you can read it yourself.
Yes.
Rab Picking.
Or we could actually start recording rants and play them
Yeah.
during the show.
Aye.
So
let's
guys,
go down a wee bit here, we'll catch up.
I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
sure if you
we'll probably finish up in about 10 minutes or so. If anyone wants to
We're
call
hoping
in,
to get
please do.
We're hoping to get a donate page on the page as well, so you can help us with the channel. Guys, the calls are open. Don't know if you've got a phone. Lewis, what's the number?
0141 319 5230.
Do you want to play the jingle?
No.
Gives us a chance to get a
Gordon, can you just start speaking, please?
It's quite boring in here the night of that.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We've got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. The Gers TV.
That's Sandra just called you. Want to take that now to catch up?
Sandra.
Right, you go miss it. Hi, Sandra.
Hi there.
How you doing?
I'm alright. How you doing?
Aye, all good. How you doing in general? Everything good?
Aye, everything's good. Everything's good. Is this on live now?
Aye, you're on live.
Aye, because I've had to come out the room because of the selling. Listen, good to see you all there and good to see another female there. You're doing well, baby.
Oh,
Aye.
thank
There
you.
you go.
Good
Thank
to
you.
hear.
That's
Good to hear
nice.
from you, Sandra, and
I
all.
appreciate you saying that.
Right, I need help looking for Easter eggs, razors, anything you would need, you would think the troops would need.
So, Sandra, how do you do this? Is it in a bag you want them in, and is it a box? Or...
Anything, just give it the bag or even loose. I don't care. I'll come pick it up.
Right, so when is the deadline for it, first of all?
It's March. It should be there for April, the first week in April. So I've got the next couple of weeks to do it.
Right, is there anything you can donate? Anything that's going to like, melt or something like that, or go to date?
No, well, chocolate, no, that's going, so that's going to survive the journey, you know.
Aye.
So anything at all, you think that the soldiers would use, because they're grateful for anything.
Aye, so,
Yep.
I mean, what's the kind of, it's things like deodorants, but it wouldn't be spray, is that right?
Aye, it's no spray, it's the roll-ons, razors, and it's chocolate. Because it's Easter, they're looking for more chocolate things like the wee mini eggs or an
Aye,
Easter
aye.
egg. So when I collect all the donations, they get put into boxes, then sent to the soldiers to wear.
And is that like soldiers all over the world? Is it a certain area?
Yeah, so the ones that's deployed everywhere, yep.
Brilliant.
Excellent. So that's
Yeah.
something we can get involved in. and basically people just donating a box or a packet or something, even if they're short and they've not got a lot of money, if they put an Easter egg.
One Easter egg, it doesn't matter, it all counts. It all counts.
Perfect. So we'll try and get that for the next 2 weeks. We'll put it on the website and we'll try and get...
Did you find out about Oswald's for me?
Well, they said to me they'll do it, but the last time I was in it was absolutely packed, but they said it's not a problem. I'm hoping that Oswald's in the Bristol, if the two of them can do it, so it's not too far to travel, and even if I just tell people Easter eggs, just so it's that, and we'll try and focus on the donuts and that a week later.
Aye, that's absolutely fine, Si. If you let me know when they're there, I'll go pick them up and I'll take them to Donna and Jean,
And if anybody, as well as that, if they want to put a wee message or a wee card in, I think the soldiers would like that as well.
Absolutely, yeah, good idea.
The soldiers actually send a card back if they get a letter with it.
Aye. No, it's excellent. It's a great organisation.
I know, it is, it's good. I'm getting my teeth into something else too, Si.
No, excellent. Listen, I'll get involved in it. We'll help the channel. We'll help any way we can, and we'll get the collection started. All the best.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, cheers, Sandra.
Bye,
Hopefully, see you
bye,
soon.
bye.
Bye. Bye.
There you go. Everybody's always asking how Sandra's doing. She was on the channel live there. She's on the feed if you want to chat away and gossip or whatever. It's on the page. You know to chat with each other. But
I'll talk about Rangers.
talk about Rangers and all. You know what I'm saying. But listen, this is a wee fundraiser that happens twice or 3 times a year, and it's just basically to donate a wee gift to soldiers who fighting for king and country all over the world, all creeds, faiths or whatever.
Yep, absolutely amazing.
Doing a hard
service.
job, and it's just
What's
to say
the name of
thanks.
the charity?
Treats for troops.
Brilliant.
Treats
Look at
for
now.
troops, yeah.
Sandra will type it up if I've got it wrong. I think they're called Treats for Troops as the official name.
So
And
please,
it's just a treat for the troops. But ideally just now, people want to donate a Easter egg,
Yeah.
any size or a wee packet of the smaller ones, and we'll get a location for them no matter. Thank you very much for that, Sandra. If you can just let us know that we've got that right, it's Treat for Troops, and we'll get that sorted. Right, let's go back to the football for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Anybody want to give a wee call in? First
Yeah.
of all, it's 01413195230. This energy drink has worked with me.
aye, it's I'm up for going to the dancing actually.
I'm going up between you. We're talking about the 70s
It's a
and
boy.
80s. I'm about to go up the thing with Clatty Pats.
Eh,
It's gone. What do you mean it's gone? Bonkers.
It's a boy.
I think that's right with slang.
No,
So,
Clatty Pats was a nightclub.
I was joking.
Was that in Charlotte
Did you-
or something?
Did anyone
Kid, no, you've never
manage
been
to,
there.
manage to catch
No.
Michael Beale's press conference today about the League Cup final?
I just saw the photos, never heard
yeah,
that.
it was made to do the press conference right next to
Ange.
Postecoglou, which I found quite embarrassing, to be honest. I don't think it was obviously his fault. I think it's the sponsor's fault, and
I think,
he's trying to create unnecessary drama.
well, if you look at it from 2 points of view, I'm just looking at it as looking from the outside and looking in. If you look for them for getting a reaction for your sponsorship, they've done a great job.
Yeah.
Because everybody's talking about it. However, I don't like that kind of thing where it's like the boxing a wee bit of the two oppositions at the same time.
Yeah.
It was great seeing Michael Beale turning up on the club suit, looking like a Ranger, acting like a Ranger, all that kind of stuff. But I just think it was a wee bit of bad taste having the two of them sitting together. But other people might have an opinion on it. Gordon, do you think it was?
I have it's to echo your point to be honest, Simon. It's trying to get this kind of boxing look to it where they're kind of going to square up to each other or argue each other or whatnot, and it's not football for
And
me.
it
It's
didn't
not
really
a cup
happen.
final. Aye.
Did they do a win?
So no, for me, just don't like it.
Yeah.
I mean, the gist of it was basically. I don't know if you've seen it. I know
I've not seen it, so I'm
So-
quite intrigued. So
So
explain.
the gist of it basically was
Uh-huh.
the Celtic manager turned up with a jumper on, just like an average guy in the street,
Right.
and the Rangers manager turned up suited and booted.
Right. So it
So-
looked like a total.
Contrast.
But
Yeah.
I think if you even, to be fair, if you told them, the two clubs that's what it was going to be like, and they knew about it, which they might have done, I don't think they would have changed. I think he'd have still turned up dressed like that.
Yeah.
And the Rangers
Aye.
manager always dresses in the appropriate manner. It's part
He
of the
does.
divisions.
Yep.
It's not really a big deal to me, but I just thought it was a wee bit naff. It's not something. They're wanting a reaction, and they got it, so they got good publicity out of it. But
Mhm.
that is what it is. You'll see it yourself. You'll see it on the
I'll
page.
need to go and check it out. Yeah.
He did not have anything to say about Tillman, so I don't think we should be worried about Tillman. I think that
Yeah.
I don't think we would have known if it was anything serious.
I think the one good thing with Beale is he keeps, like when he studied under Gerrard, he keeps all the information quiet. You don't really
Yeah.
get any leaks at the club anymore. Do you want to get? Did you do your weekly?
I
player
actually
stats.
didn't. I actually didn't have time before the show starts to upload it, but I
It's not been
did.
the same since Germany.
I know.
That's
Honestly,
twice the.
Germany's ruined this boy.
But
Back in the day.
I did have a player of the match graphic lined up for this weekend's game on against Livingston and I gave the award to James Tavernier, obviously scoring the penalty and the stunning free kick goal. As well, just an all-round great performance. I mean, there was probably 4 or 5 players that you could have gave it to on that pitch. It was a good performance.
It was good.
And good way to go into a cup final.
3 points, 3 goals.
I think it's important that we'll talk about the game for a wee minute, but see, before we do that, guys, I would like to talk about something separately, but in the same subject matter. I think we criticise other teams and other clubs when they get it wrong. And at the weekend, Livingston Football Club done a lot of things that I thought were great for in pro football and pro people. First of all, they let the Rangers supporters do a display, which was good because at the end of the day, football's about entertainment, and fair play to that. I'm not a great fan of their pitch. I'm a fan of their manager because I think he's a great character in the game. However, their captain and their club allowed I don't know the young lad's name, but a young disabled lad is very badly disabled, and had struggled to be a mascot for I think 10 years. His family tried to get it, and had his Rangers strip on. And the captain of Livingston, again I should know his name but I've not had a chance to check it, came on the park with ear defenders on because a wee boy wore them. And I thought that was a wee bit of class from Livingston, and Rangers participating in it, but well done to Livingston Football Club for doing that. I think you need to take your hats off to clubs and organisations when they can show a wee bit of class like that. I thought it was quite emotional, but it was great to watch the wee boy running out to the wee boy. The team running out with the wee boy, and the both of them having their defenders on. I thought that was quite great.
I think Clivier are quite a nice run club. You know, it's good to see smaller run clubs with good moral values. You know, we're lucky that in Scottish football we do have at least a couple in the league that I can think of. You know, Motherwell and Livingston being a couple obvious ones.
Do a lot for the community. I know Motherwell do a lot for the communities as well. I mean, it's just that people always talk about the bad side of the game and the bad side of people and things like that, but there's a good side as well. And to see the wee boy's family being so happy for that 5-10 minutes, that made the occasion just that wee bit more special. I'll quickly talk about the game. I didn't think Rangers were fantastic. However, on that pitch, it looked as if to me when I was watching the game, I looked as if the ball was 100 mile an hour when it was hitting the water drenched pitch. It was a hard game for Rangers to play in, and they get a 3-0 victory. Outstanding. To a clean sheet, fantastic. Most importantly, James Tavernier, free kick, outstanding the way he took it, unbeatable. No many keepers in the world could save it. Great positional play. I wasn't sure if it was a sending off. I think it was a bit. I think the player tried to get away from the Rangers player. I'm trying to remember what happened here, but the Livingston player, I don't think deliberately tried to injure the Rangers player, and it was unfortunate because of the angle, but if he hadn't been booked in the first place, it wouldn't have happened, but it's unfortunate. But I don't think it changed the game because right after it, Tavernier puts the ball in the top corner and Rangers it was all one-sided after that. What's your thoughts on it, guys?
Well, it was a fantastic goal, and Livingston, they're not an easy place to go. It was our first game of the season, and they basically, it's embarrassing to say, but they destroyed us the first half. Scott Appill, for enough, came on and kind of changed the game. I remember that. And we got the win. So I think under Gerrard we dropped points there a couple of times as well. So it's an awkward kind of club to go and play, especially in Livingston. So to come away 3-0 with a great goal, and it's a great bit of form. We're still in great form for the cup final. So yeah, brilliant performance, brilliant result, and good to go for Sunday.
I think I said 3-0 as well, prediction wise.
I can't remember that. He remembers the predictions when he gets them right.
What's our predictions for this weekend then? Sunday?
I'm going to go first here. I think it's going to be a really, really, really good game. I think two teams are going to go like two heavyweights. It's probably going to be one of the better finals. It might be dull and boring after me saying this, right enough. However, if Rangers win, I don't really care. I definitely think it's all about the midfield battle, and whoever comes out on top in the midfield will win the game. It'll be a close game. I think David Hill's right. There could be a penalty in the game, and probably two, to even it up with the referee's got so much pressure on him just now with the Celtic media. I will go for 2-1 to Rangers.
That was mine.
You can copy me.
Yeah, I feel 2-1. I feel it's going to be 2-1, and I think we would deserve it. After the last time we were so close, and we should have won the last Old Firm, but so I think 2-1. Yep.
1-0 to Rangers after extra time.
So nothing each. right
Going
up to
extra
it.
time, yeah.
It's a long time in a game.
That's,
like that.
you're
That's
wasted in
how
this,
extra
I
aye.
know, but it's a lot. The way the two teams are playing, and there's a lot of goals. The two teams.
Which is why I think the
Could be
are
right.
in this. Which is why I think it'll be
Mhm.
tight.
You think it's going to go all the way?
1-0
Yeah.
after extra time, and yourself.
I'm
Lewis.
saying 2-2 Rangers win on penalties.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
I don't think my heart could take it, but I think that's gonna happen.
So, give your predictions, guys. Let us know what you think. Just a wee quick shout out to our website. It's www.thegers.tv. If anybody does TikTok and they want to get involved and help us, that would be great. It's the only thing that we're struggling to do just now because we've not got a lot of time. But if you have any other ideas for the show that you want to get involved in, please let us know. Vivian, before I finish, you want to tell us quickly you're getting ready to do you started your training for your championships.
I have, yeah. I've started what's called, they call it prep. So I've actually dropped. I was 10 stone and I'm now, my scales, it's actually quite funny.
Oh, I know the
My-
feeling here.
My scales had broke, but I didn't know. So I kept standing in the scales every day and they stayed the same. And I
And
was
no,
like,
that very means volleyball, not top half only.
So what's it that I know you're involved in
Yeah.
bodybuilding, you're involved in the bikini
Yeah.
championships.
Yeah.
It's a totally different kind of weight loss and things like that. I'd imagine.
It is,
diet.
it's not like it's not like you're dropping weight. What you're trying to do is obviously maintain muscle and come in good. So you're shredding basically your body fat, but you're still maintaining weight. So
Okay.
even I'm still eating a lot of calories. It's not like I'm sitting here not eating anything. And no, it's so fun. So a long way to go to September. So my next plan is to start use both on the journey of getting fit and healthy. And
I
that's
said
what
that
I'm
when I
doing
was
this
I
week.
said that when I was drunk. I want to lose weight, and all of a sudden it's like you are going to lose weight, fat guy. There's a call coming in, Duncan.
Oh, okay, cool.
Hi, Duncan.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Hello.
Oh, good mate.
Alright,
Yeah, very well.
I
You're,
just noticed you were on there.
All right, aye.
you should have listened to Mark.
Tuesday night.
Yeah.
No, I just wanted to say, do you think if we beat them on Sunday, that we can go on and win the league, or is that a point that's already been made?
It's gonna. I know what you're saying because it's giving them a wee bit of a knockout blow, stunning them. The problem I've got with that is I think we had to win the game at Ibrox and with 5 minutes to go and no losing it, but then
Aye.
coming back is a real sucker punch. But it's 2 points that we really needed, and time's running out. It certainly would help us
Aye.
for it, and I would fancy Rangers to go and win the 2 cups if they win one.
Aye.
It might just be a wee bit too much to ask for. However, we don't know what their reaction would be when they lose because they've been. Let's face it, as much as we don't like saying it, they've been a really good side over the last year. They've no lost many games in the Scottish game, so you've got to give them
I do
credit.
notice though, that see when they're under pressure, man, their heads go down a wee bit, you know?
Yeah, but you've got to put them under pressure. That's the thing, and I think Rangers are capable of
Aye.
doing that.
That's the thing. Plus, if we get 6 points against them, that would put them under pressure, you know, so...
Yeah, no, I think you're right, mate. I
I
think,
don't
I think if we win on Sunday, then you're right. It could be a catalyst for bigger and better things.
I mean, I think the big one is, and I don't see this happening because it would be really hard, and I hope it does happen. It's not just winning; it's winning the game with a wee bit of class, and then giving them a
Aye,
fright.
that's what I was thinking.
You need to give them a fright if you can do that, and then it's putting it
If
out
we do it in style, I think that would spook them.
because all the pressure's on Celtic for the league now. Rangers are not really getting any pressure now, so it might
Aye.
suit us. What do you think? Do you think it? I mean,
Honestly, I think, if we won this game of Sunday in style, they would get spooked a bit by that.
I
And
hope
there's
so.
no
Yeah.
great pressure, because they've not really been put under much, you know.
They've not been that, and that's the big thing, and that's why I was angry at us not winning it the last Old Firm because with 6 minutes to go, I thought Rangers had it in the bag, and to change our formation and the way we played, and to
Aye.
nullify Sakala's presence that day, it just was criminal. I thought,
Aye, I know, that was just a mistake, but
but we move on.
you learn as you go.
I think if you'd asked us
Anyway,
if you said to us Duncan 6 months ago, but Rangers playing Celtic in the final under Gio the way he was going, would I be confident? I would be a lot less confident, to be fair.
aye, I know what you're saying, aye.
So aye.
But anyway, what's his name? Michael Beale, man, he's done a great job, I think, so far, you know.
Absolutely, yeah.
He talks a good game and all.
Aye, I've got to give him credit. I mean, I think there's a lot more to come from him. But the 2 signings he's brought in, the 2 midfield boys he's brought in, I think are an idea of what to expect from him in the summer. And I think he's only going to get better and better. And I like his attitude and I like his style.
I think that boy Cantwell, man, he can go into great things, you know. He's got a brilliant wee touch on him, you know.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, he's got the skill, but by all accounts, he fell out of love with football. Whatever happened at Norwich, I don't know the story, but he's been dropping hints about it.
Aye.
And he's starting to love the game again. And that's what's important. When it's all right being a great player, but you need to have it in you that you want to play. And I think he's found that again.
But
Absolutely.
that's it. But I think Bale's got the ability to kind of bring it out of him.
Aye, the man management, yeah.
He's the type of guy that's great with players, you know.
So I agree with you 100%, mate.
Aye. Right, okay, I'm going to go.
All the best, mate. Cheers.
All the
Thanks.
best anyway.
Okay, cheers, Duncan. Take
All the
care.
best. Thank you.
Cheers, thanks. That was Duncan. Great call.
Okay.
We've not got long to go here, guys. Just a couple of comments. So it's been, hold on a minute, was it 4-2 to Liverpool?
4-2.
Madrid.
Madrid.
Aye.
Yeah.
So Madrid were getting beat 2-0, is that right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they've scored 4 goals since then.
They have. Looks like a good game.
At Anfield.
That looks like, no wonder, well, thing is, there's a lot of people watching that, so remember, like and share, so we
Aye.
watch this later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil the result for you if you're just watching it, but it's 4-2 to Madrid. What's the other scores? Anybody want to put the scores
It
out?
is 1-0 to Napoli still.
Is it? Yeah.
Kolo Muani has just been sent off for Frankfurt, so that's what you get.
Okay.
So, there you go.
So-
Anything else we'll still to cover?
No, obviously, just hope everyone stays safe and has a great time on Sunday. I'm sure that we'll come out on top and be victorious, win the first trophy of the season.
I did tell Alpha that Mark Aitken made a great point when he said there'll be live boxing on Sunday evening. I think with the amount of bevy that people will be taking in the weekend, you're probably right.
Yeah.
A big shout out before I forget, the Bristol Bar,
Mm-hmm.
great supporters of your channel.
Yeah.
A great Rangers bar, in my opinion, probably the best Rangers bar in the world. They're doing a big fun day on Saturday and Saturday night. 12 hours basically of a Rangers flag day. If you've got a Rangers flag, I've got 5 flags I'm going to drop off for different people I know. But if you've got a Rangers flag, a supporters club flag or anything and you want it displayed in Duke Street that day, this is going to be the biggest one yet. You just go down early, meet Greg, give him a picture of your, keep a photo of the flag so you get it back. You won't be look safe. There'll be stewards looking after the flags. But what a sight it'll be, there'll be people, supporters clubs from all over the world,
Oh, I can't
and your
remember.
flags will be out. I'll be there in the
Yeah.
morning, and then I've got to fight for a second degree with the orange, but we'll be back at 10 o'clock at night, and if I'm in a fit state, I will go into the Bristol Bar when we're getting dropped off for a wee shandy. So, the Bristol Bar, well done to them again, once again.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic place, and big shout out to all the staff and management that work there. Absolutely brilliant place to watch Rangers games and basically have a great time.
Yep.
Is that us, guys?
Yep,
That's
okay,
us.
so thanks for your company, thanks for your comments. Please check out our website, our Spotify, and our Discord channel for online gaming.
Everything's on the website anyway, innit?
Yep,
Yes.
and always remember that we are
The
The
people.
people.